The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was full. Aliens from across the galaxy sat in high chairs, looking down at Earth's ambassador like he was a child in a courtroom. Ambassador Holt stood alone. He was tall, wearing Earth's dark blue uniform, but his eyes looked tired. Everyone thought Earth was weak, poor, slow, behind in science. Behind in war, a tall, red-scaled alien from the Thouser Empire stood up. His voice echoed in the hall. "Earth is a small planet," he said, smiling. "They have no strong ships, no real armies. Why should they have a seat at this table?" Laughter spread in the chamber. Even allies of Earth didn't speak up. They were afraid of Thouser power. Ambassador Holt didn't smile. He looked at the red-scaled alien and replied slowly, "You only see what we let you see." The laughter stopped. Some aliens whispered to each other. Holt pressed a small button on his wrist. A signal was sent, a signal that had been waiting for 20 years, far away on Earth. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, that signal was received. In a base 3 miles underwater, red lights began to flash. Robots moved fast. Human engineers, hidden from the world for decades, looked at each other with wide eyes. "Code Black received," said one officer. "Project Gatebreaker is live," another whispered. Then silence. A giant steel dome opened underwater, and a dark shape rose. It was not a submarine. It was bigger, faster, deadlier. It was the Eclipse Earth's first secret warship. Its surface was black like space. It had no windows, only sensors. It's no radio noise. It's only silence. Inside the ship, lights came on one by one. In the command center, Captain Rhea stepped forward. She wore no medals. Her face was cold and calm. "Crew status?" she asked. "All aboard, Captain." "No deaths." "Systems green," answered the AI voice. Captain Rhea looked at the screen. The mission was clear. Break through the 7th gate. Attack. From inside, show them Earth was not weak. Years ago, when Earth's moon was destroyed by the Thouser, millions had died. Earth had cried for help, but no one came. The Galactic Council called it an accident. Since that day, Earth had smiled on the outside, but built weapons in secret. The Eclipse was one of them. Back in the council hall, Ambassador Holt stood firm. The Thouser leader stepped closer. "You threaten us, human?" "Hate. Give you a warning," Holt said. "We never forgot the moon, never forgot your laughing faces, and we never stopped preparing." The Thouser growled. "You have nothing?" At that moment, every major satellite around Earth was hacked. All screens in the council lit up. A video played. It showed the Eclipse rising from the sea, water falling off its sides. It showed the engines lighting blue fire. It showed the warship leaving Earth's orbit heading straight for the 7th gate. Gasps filled the hall. One alien asked, "That ship, it's not listed." "How?" another whispered. "Impossible. Earth doesn't have that tech." Ambassador Holt finally smiled. "You thought we were asleep? But we were dreaming of this day." In space, the Eclipse passed Mars, fast, silent, hidden by stealth. Systems made with stolen alien tech. No one could see it on radar. Inside the ship, soldiers walked in silence. They were not fresh recruits. They were war veterans. Many were listed as dead in public records, but they had only disappeared. They had trained in secret cities under ice, on empty islands, and deep in the earth. Now, they were going to war. Captain Rhea stood in front of them. "We don't fight for medals," she said. "We don't fight for revenge. We fight because no one believed in us. That ends now." Back at the council, panic began to grow. "What is that ship made of?" asked one. "Who gave Earth this tech?" "No one did," Ambassador Holt answered. "We built it, alone, with parts you said were useless." Thouser guards stepped toward him. But it was too late. The council's emergency screens flashed red. A message appeared. "Eclipse en route target. 7th gate, ETA, 48 HOURS above Earth." The Eclipse entered deep space. In the command chair, Captain Rhea gave her first command: "Engage warp drive." The stars stretched. The ship vanished from Earth's view. War had begun. But this time, Earth was ready. The warship Eclipse floated through space like a shadow. No lights, no sound, just darkness. It moved faster than any ship Earth had ever built. It was heading toward the seventh gate, a powerful wormhole controlled by the Thalzer Empire. That gate connected to deep alien space, where no human had ever gone. Inside the Eclipse, everything was quiet. Captain Rhea stood in the command room. Her eyes watched the black screen in front of her. No stars, no enemy signals, just silence. "Status?" she asked calmly. Lieutenant Briggs answered. "Stealth systems holding. No scans detected us." "Estimated arrival at the gate? 23 hours? Good," Rhea said. "Maintain silence. Full ghost mode." The Eclipse wasn't just fast, it was invisible. To most sensors, the hull was coated in dark matter armor. It absorbed energy and made the ship look like empty space. No sound, no light, no heat could escape. That's why they called it the ghost ship in the crew quarters. Soldiers checked weapons and systems. No one laughed. No one talked much. Everyone knew what this mission meant. They weren't just attacking. A gate. They were entering enemy territory alone. No backup. No exit. It's only one goal break. The seventh gate from the inside. Private Dana Torres looked at a small picture of Earth stuck inside her helmet. A family photo. Her eyes were wet. Her teammate, Sergeant Malik, noticed. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "Yeah, just remembering what they did to us." Malik touched the scar on his neck. This time we hit back. In the ship's lower deck, machines hummed quietly. Artificial intelligence ran most of the systems. The AI was named Krayos, and it wasn't like other eyes. It had no voice, only text. No emotions, only logic. Controlled weapons, shields, life support, even the engines. It was created using alien code stolen years ago. Captain Rhea didn't fully trust it. But she knew they needed it. She walked to the private command chamber. Only she had access. Inside, a hidden message was playing looped again and again. It was from a man named Dr. Alan Voss, missing for 15 years. He was a scientist who once worked on alien gate research. The message said, "The seventh gate is not just a portal, it's a trap. Don't enter blind. They know how to twist time and space. Inside, if you go, don't stop. Don't turn around. The ship must move forward, or you'll never come back." Captain Rhea stared at the screen. Her face stayed calm, but her mind raced. Why was this message hidden? Who sent it to the Eclipse? Was it real? She saved the file and locked the chamber. Meanwhile, far ahead on the edge of the seventh gate, Thalzer ships floated like sharp knives in space. Commander Kor, a Thalzer war leader, looked bored. His yellow eyes scanned the empty space. "No activity from Earth," one of his guards said. "Same as always. Weak planet. No danger." Commander Kor growled. "I hate gate duty. We should be conquering planets, not babysitting holes in space." Still, their sensors kept scanning, but they didn't see the Eclipse. It was already inside their patrol ring, moving quiet, hiding in the black dot back on the Eclipse. The countdown had started. Captain Briggs said, "We are now 200,000 kilometers from the gate." Rhea nodded. "Begin silent charge." The main cannon, the Sun Lance, started to heat up. It was Earth's newest weapon. It could fire plasma beams through shields. But it needed 1 full minute to charge it. It glowed bright when active. Would break their cover. "Once we power up," Briggs warned, "they'll see us." "They'll only have 10 seconds to react," Rhea replied. "Make them count." Inside the gun bay, soldiers moved fast. Drones armed with EMP charges were launched. No sound in space, only the flashing lights of preparation. The plan was simple. Fire EMP drones to disable the outer defense net. Hit the gate generator with the Sun Lance. Enter the gate before it collapses. If they failed, it would be trapped between enemy fleets. At exactly 0600 ship time, the order came. "Fire EMPs," Rhea said. Tiny drones flew out from the Eclipse. In all directions, within seconds, Small electric explosions hit the Thalzer defense grid. Enemy sensors started blinking. "What's happening?" shouted a Thalzer technician. "Unknown signal. Something's inside our net." Then the Eclipse decloaked. For the first time, Thalzer eyes saw it, a huge black ship, silent and glowing with white plasma. "The Sun Lance is charged," said Briggs. "Fire," Rhea commanded. A blinding beam shot forward. It tore through the defense grid. The gate shook, and then it opened. Not the way it usually did. It glitched, flickered. The space around it bent unnaturally. "Gate unstable," Kraos warned. "Go now," Rhea yelled. The Eclipse pushed forward and entered the gate. The last thing the Thalzer saw was the ghost ship vanishing into twisted light. Space twisted. Time slowed, colors broke apart. The Eclipse passed through the seventh gate like a ghost moving through fire. The inside of the gate was not a simple tunnel, it was chaos. The ship's metal groaned as strange energy touched its hull. Captain Rhea sat still in her chair. She felt pressure in her chest, like something was watching. "Hold the course," she said. "All systems shaking," Briggs reported. "But we're stable, Kraos." The AI flashed a warning across the screen. Gravitational distortion. 78%. Visual feed corrupted. Navigating by internal compass only. No other ship had ever gone this deep into the Thalzar skate system. Most that tried were destroyed, or never came back. And now, Earth was inside. 3 minutes later, the Eclipse broke through to the other side. It came out into a dark part of the galaxy, a place called Sector 7X, controlled by the Thalzer. Nothing moved, no ships, no light, just one massive planet far ahead, glowing red. Around it, hundreds of enemy ships were parked like a wall, but they didn't see the Eclipse. The cloak was back online. The ship looked like empty space again. "We are inside," Briggs said. "They have no idea." Rhea stood up and walked to the center of the command deck. "Mark all enemy positions. Scan for the gate core." This mission wasn't just about getting through the gate. The real goal was to find the gate core, the power system that linked all Thalzer gates. They could destroy it. The enemy's travel system would collapse. It would take the Thalzer decades to rebuild. That would give Earth, its secret allies, the time they needed to rise. The Eclipse moved slowly, hiding behind asteroid fields and radio shadows. Inside the ship, the crew worked in total silence, private. Dana Torres watched the enemy planet through her scope. "So many ships," she whispered. "If they spot us, we're dead." Sergeant Malik nodded. "Then we don't get spotted." Back on the Thalzer command base, no alarms rang. No one noticed the enemy inside their walls. "Commander, Corps was in a war meeting. Our next attack on Earth's moon base will begin in 3 days, he said. "They will not survive this time." His officers nodded. "Any updates from the 7th gate?" he asked. "Gate scan is clear. All quiet." Corps laughed. "Earth is nothing but noise. No teeth. Let them scream." Back on the Eclipse, the scan found something strange. "There's a signal," Briggs said. "Human, very weak, coming from inside a mining moon near the planet." Rhea raised an eyebrow. "Human? Here." Torres zoomed in on the moon. "Looks abandoned. Maybe old ruins. Or maybe survivors," Malik added. "Prisoners." Bria made a decision. "Prepare a recon team. We go in quiet." 10 hours later, a small black dropship left the Eclipse and headed toward the mining moon. It landed without being seen. Inside the dark tunnels, the team moved with flashlights and plasma rifles. Dust covered the walls. Machines were broken, but the signal got stronger. Finally, they found a hidden room. Inside it was a human, an old man with a long beard, weak but alive. He stood slowly, his eyes wide. You're from Earth?" "Yes," Rhea said. "Captain Rhea of the Warship." "Eclipse. Who are you?" He smiled faintly. "I'm Dr. Alan Voss." The crew froze. That name was known. He was the one who warned them not to enter the gate. But he had been missing for 15 years. "We got your message," Rhea said. "Did you survive?" Voss leaned on the wall. I escaped the Thouser experiments, hid in these tunnels. Sent signals every year. I didn't think anyone would come. You know how the gate works? Rhea said. Tell me, where's the gate core? Voss pointed up toward the enemy planet. Inside the capital? Deep underground? Guarded by thousands. Silence fell. That's suicide, Briggs whispered. Rhea looked at her team. No, she said. That's our mission. Back on the Eclipse, Voss was taken to the med bay. He handed Rhea a small chip. This has the layout of the capital and the gate core. But be careful, the Thouser are planning something new, something big. They call it Project Silence. I don't know what it is, but it's dangerous. Rhea took the chip, and then we'll move before they do. Far. Above the red planet, the Eclipse drifted close, still hidden. Still silent, Krob showed a new message. Stealth window, 36 hours. After that, detection risk rises to 99%. That meant they had 36 hours to strike. No more waiting, Captain. Rhea gave the next command. Prepare for infiltration. We're going. The crew started moving. Suits were checked, weapons loaded, bombs packed. No one spoke. Everyone understood. They were deep in enemy space, and the enemy still had no idea. But soon, they would dot the red planet below, glowed like fire. On the surface, Thalzer cities buzzed with activity. Ships flew in tight patterns. Giant towers protected the gate core, the heart of their power. But no one saw the storm coming. The Eclipse waited above, hidden behind a shattered moon. Inside, soldiers stood in a silent line. No fear, no noise. Only purpose. Captain Rhea walked through them. You know what this mission means? She said. We destroy the gate core. We break their power. Forever. She paused and looked each soldier in the eye. We don't get medals. We don't get parades. But if we win, Earth gets time. The galaxy will finally stop laughing. No one clapped. No one cheered. They just nodded. The time had come. The plan was simple, but deadly. A small team would drop onto the planet and sneak inside the gate core tower using the secret map from Dr. Voss. They would plant a fusion bomb inside the main energy reactor. While the bomb counted down, the Eclipse would distract enemy forces from orbit using decoy attacks and drone strikes. The team would escape just before the core exploded. Success meant freedom. Failure meant death. 2 drop pods launched from the Eclipse like black bullets. They burned through the atmosphere and hit the ground. Outside the Thouser city, the city was made of tall black towers and glowing green roads. Creatures walked in perfect patterns. Drones flew above. The humans moved through sewers and shadows. Rhea, Malik, Torres, and 2 others led the way. Dr. Voss had warned them the core was deep underground. The path was tight, full of sensors and guards. But Earth had trained for this. They used chameleon suits, hacked locks, moved like smoke. Meanwhile, the Eclipse launched dozens of decoy drones. Each one sent out fake signals, making it look like human ships were attacking from every direction. The Thal-Zar command center went crazy. Multiple enemy signals. Impossible. How did they get here? Activate defense units? Commander. Kor slammed his fist on the table. Find the source. Kill them all. Her eyes were looking at the stars. But not at their own planet. Exactly as Earth's planned, deep inside the tower. The team reached the reactor chamber. It was a giant room filled with blue light. Energy flowed through glass tubes and metal pipes. At the center, a glowing sphere spun. Slowly, it was the gate core heart. Rhea looked at it with cold eyes. Torres. Plant the bomb. Torres opened her pack and pulled out a silver case. She placed it on the reactor wall and tapped a code. Bomb armed. 5-minute countdown. Suddenly a sound. A deep growl. From the shadows, a massive alien creature stepped. Forward. Black armor. 4 arms. Yellow eyes. A Thalzer warden, a guardian. He roared and charged. Malik fired first. Plasma bolts hit the armor, but bounced off. Move, Rhea shouted. The team scattered. Torres ducked behind a panel. The warden swung its clawed arms, smashing pipes and walls. Rhea threw a pulse grenade. It exploded, releasing an electric wave. The warden froze just for a second. That was enough. Malik jumped, firing directly into its face. The warden screamed. Rhea pulled out her blade and stabbed it. Through the neck, it fell. Dead. Bomb timer. 3 minutes, Torres called out. Move. Move, Rhea ordered. The team ran through the exit tunnel as alarms blared above. The Thouser finally knew something was wrong. In orbit. The Eclipse detected new signals. Dozens of ships launching from the surface. Briggs said, "Hold position," said the AI Kraos. "They are too late." Captain Rhea's voice came through the comms. "Target is armed. Begin extraction." Back on the surface, the team reached the pickup zone. Smoke filled the sky. Enemy ships flew above. The Eclipse fired a cover blaster, a huge plasma beam that hit the enemy's base. Towers fell. The ground shook. A dropship zoomed in and picked up the team just as the countdown hit 0. 5, 4, 3. Rhea grabbed the handle. Brace. Light brighter than a star filled the sky. The bomb exploded. The entire core tower was ripped apart. The energy lines cracked. The ground split. A shockwave spread across the planet. The gate core, thousands of years old, was gone, back on the Eclipse. The crew watched the screens. Enemy gates across the galaxy flickered. One by one, they shut down. No more Thouser gate travel. No more easy attacks. The Empire's wings were clipped. Inside the ship, the crew finally smiled. Captain Rhea sat back in her chair. Target destroyed. Mission complete. Kraos added one final line on the screen. Gate core status, broken. Earth, no longer weak, but far away. In the shadows of deep space, hidden Thouser base activated something else. A giant ship. Blacker than space. Powered by unknown energy, Project Silence had just begun. The Eclipse floated in space, far from the red planet they had just escaped. Behind them, the gate core was gone. Thouser's ships were lost and confused. The gates across the galaxy had shut down, but there was no time to celebrate. Captain Rhea stood in the command center, staring at the map in front of her. A blinking dot appeared, small, weak, but human. "Where is that signal coming from?" she asked. Lieutenant Briggs replied, "Coordinates show a nearby ice planet. Signal is old, maybe 40 years. It's human." Rhea narrowed her eyes. "Someone out here before us?" Message repeated again. "This is Colony Arc 3. We survived. Please, is anyone out there?" The crew didn't waste time. The Eclipse changed course and headed toward the planet marked D17. The world was dark and frozen. No sunlight reached it. Long ago, humans had launched secret colony ships. Most were lost, but this one had survived. The Eclipse stayed in orbit, hidden. A small recon team led by Rhea landed near a large mountain. Sensors showed life underground. They entered a narrow cave and followed power lines buried in the ice. Soon, they found a sealed door. It looked old, scratched, and frozen, but still had Earth symbols. Rhea touched the control panel. It lit up. Green. A voice spoke through a speaker, shaky and surprised. "No way, is this real? Are you Earth military?" Rhea answered, "Yes. Captain Rhea of the Eclipse. We received your signal." The door opened. Light poured out, and standing. There were humans, men, women, even children. Dirty, thin, tired, but alive. Inside, the lost colony was small but strong. Underground tunnels led to homes, labs, farms. They had been cut off from Earth for 43 years. An old woman stepped forward. Her face was wrinkled, her voice clear. "I'm Commander Ilya Frost. I was just a pilot when we crashed here. Now, I lead what's left." She welcomed them into a round room lit by solar lamps. Old screens showed the Eclipse in orbit. "We watched you destroy the gate core," Ilya said. "We saw it with our own eyes." "You've been watching?" Rhea asked, surprised. Ilya nodded. "For years, we've monitored Thouser systems. We've cracked part of their network. We even learned how the gates truly work. Ria's eyes widened. You know how they rebuilt the core? Yes, Ilya said. And we know what they're building now. Something worse. A weapon called Project Silence. Ria leaned in. What is it? Ilya turned to a dusty screen and pulled up a blurry image. It showed a giant black ship. No windows. Just darkness. We only saw it once. Ilya said, it came through a hidden gate near a dying star. It doesn't send any signal. It eats energy. It silences systems around it. Briggs stepped forward. That's why they call it Silence. Ria stared at the image. Where is it now? We don't know. But it's waking up, and if it moves, nothing will stop it. Back on the Eclipse, Ilya and a few of her scientists were brought aboard. They carried old computers full of stolen Thalzer data. AI Creo scanned it quickly. Information matched. Project Silence is a dark space dreadnought. Purpose: unknown. Status: active. The crew looked at each other. Briggs whispered, if it's worse than the gate core, we need to find it before it finds us. Ria agreed. We'll need allies and more firepower. Ilya smiled. You're not alone anymore. This colony has engineers, weapons, tech, and minds that never stopped working. She paused, then added, you gave us hope again. Let us return the favor. That night, the Eclipse crew and the Lost Colony shared a meal in the main deck. It was quiet at first, but slowly, voices rose. Stories were shared. Children laughed. For the first time in years, there was warmth. Torres looked around and whispered to Malik, we came to fight, but we found family. Malik nodded, and maybe that's why we'll win. In the command room, Ria recorded a message to Earth. This is Captain Ria of the Eclipse. Mission update. Gate core destroyed. Lost Colony found. Thalzer's secret weapon project Silence confirmed. We're moving to locate and stop it. We may not return. But no, this Earth is no longer weak, and we are not alone. She hit send. Far across the galaxy, deep in a dark system with no stars. Project Silence opened its eyes, but it had no eyes, only sensors, and it had detected something. Clips. The black ship began to move, slow, silent, and unstoppable. The Eclipse was not flying. It was hiding after rescuing the Lost Colony. The ship powered down all signals and lights. It floated near a dead asteroid belt, cold and quiet. Captain Ria sat alone in the command room. Her eyes stayed on the dark screen. She thought about the next step. Project Silence. A black ship with no signal, no weakness, no mercy. We need to find it before it finds us, she whispered. But she didn't know. It was already too late. Somewhere deep inside the Eclipse, lights flickered. A small door opened silently. A man in a black uniform stepped out of a maintenance tunnel. Looked human, walked like the crew. But his eyes didn't blink. His hands were too smooth. He was not part of the team, and he was never human. In the engine room, a technician named Leo was checking fusion coils. He saw something move. Hey, who's there? He called out. No answer. He walked toward the sound, holding a light. Behind a pipe, he found a small black device, strange and glowing. What is this? He whispered. Then something moved fast. Behind him, a silent hand grabbed Leo's mouth. One stab, Leo fell, dead on the bridge. AI Creo sent a soft warning across the screen. System log accessed? Unauthorized ID detected? Captain Ria sat up. Who accessed it? Kreos paused. Identity. Unknown. Location. Engine deck. Ria tapped her come. Security team, 2 engine room now. Lock down all decks. Briggs and Malik reached the engine room first. They found Leo's body. Blood. No alarm. No sign of struggle, Malik whispered. This was fast. Professional. Ria joined them moments later. Her face was hard. She knew something was wrong. She checked the security feed. The camera above the area had been fried. Someone inside this ship is not who they say they are, she said coldly. The crew gathered in the mess hall, soldiers, engineers even. Survivors from the lost colony? Rhea stepped up in front of them. One of you is a spy, she said. We found a crewman dead. No camera, no ID match. But the killer is still here. Whispers filled the room. Faces turned pale. Briggs added, whoever it is, they know our systems, our patrols, our blind spots. Torres stood. We scan everyone. DNA check. Now. Rhea nodded. Do it. The scans began. One by one. The crew stepped into the scanner. Name ID. DNA. Match. Until one. Man stepped forward. Tall. Quiet. Always kept to himself. He called himself Eli Danis. He had joined the team 3 months ago, so the record said. But when his scan ran, DNA error, file corrupted, nitrogen, match. The man's eyes changed. His skin shimmered like metal, then he ran. Lock the doors, Rhea shouted. Guards moved fast, but the spy was faster. He kicked open a panel and crawled into the ship's vent system. Chase began. Malik and Torres followed. Weapons ready. Inside the vents, the spy moved like an animal. His skin changed color, camouflage. His hands turned into claws. He was a Thalzer. Clone-grown in a lab, made to copy humans perfectly. He had been watching the eclipse from the inside, waiting. The clone reached the reactor core. He pulled out the black device, the same one Leo had found earlier. A Thalzer virus bomb. If planted here, would shut down the eclipse forever. He began the countdown. But Torres dropped from a vent above. Stop right there. She fired plasma, hit the clone's arm, burning it. The clone roared and lunged. They fought hand to hand. Kicks, punches, slams into metal. Malik joined seconds later, shooting into the clone's leg. The clone grabbed Malik by the neck, lifted him off the floor. But Torres used her last grenade. She shoved it into the clone's mouth. Chew on that, she said. Boom, the clone exploded. Green-black blood sprayed across the wall. Silence. Rhea arrived. Breathing hard, Torres stood, helping Malik up. He almost got to the core, she said. Rhea looked at the shattered body. Half metal, half alien. A spy on board this whole time, she whispered. Then Kraos flashed a final message. Data recovered from intruder's device. Project Silence location. Outer Nebula 9Z. Movement detected. Ship is active. Room went still, Rhea whispered. He was sending our position. Briggs called in from the bridge. Captain, we have a signal. Massive energy spike from 9Z. Something's coming. Rhea gave the order. All hands to battle stations. In the distance, far beyond stars, the black ship known as Silence opened its core and screamed, not with sound, but with pure energy. It had found the eclipse, and it was coming. The black ship called Silence was moving, slow, cold, quiet, but its silence was death across the stars. Systems shut down, satellites died, signals vanished, any ship near it lost control. Even Thalzer stations went dark. Now it was coming. For the eclipse. Inside the warship, red lights flashed. Captain Rhea stood on the bridge. Her crew was ready. Weapons online. Shields active. They all knew the truth. They were outmatched. The ship called Silence was not just a weapon. It was a living machine built by the Thalzer as darkest science. It didn't fire missiles. It turned energy into fear. It ate power, swallowed light, and crushed systems, and now it had found Earth's only hope. Distance, Rhea asked. Briggs replied, 3 hours? It's moving straight for us. Torres added, if it gets closer, our weapons won't work. Not even Kraos will be safe. The AI's voice echoed across the room. Confirmed. Threat. Extreme. Recommend. Retreat or complete shutdown. Rhea shook her head. No retreat, no surrender. But Earth could not face this alone, so Rhea sent a message across the stars. To all human colonies, hidden bases, and allies in exile. This is Captain Rhea of the Eclipse. Project Silence is real. It is moving. We stand against it. Can fight now is the time. She didn't expect an answer, but she got one. From the dark corners of the galaxy, replies came in. A rebel fleet from Mars. Secret drone ships from Saturn's ring. Old Earth carriers once believed destroyed. And even ships from the lost colony of D-17, all heading to one point, all ready to make a stand. 3 hours later, the Eclipse stood in the shadow of a dying star. Ahead of them, the black ship appeared. It was massive, the size of a city. Its surface didn't reflect light, no windows, no bridge, just dark. Moving metal like a sleeping beast, it didn't fire, it didn't speak, but systems across the Eclipse began to fail, shields dropping. Briggs yelled. Main cannon offline, Torres shouted. It's draining our power. KRAIOS flashed warning after warning, critical system failure. Energy being pulled remotely. Rhea clenched her fists. This thing is killing us without touching us. And help arrived. Human ships blinked into space, dozens of them, old, rusted, but ready. The rebel fleet opened fire. Plasma beams. Railguns, missile storms. They hit the black ship, but it didn't stop. Instead, it absorbed the blasts. Then, it answered. A shockwave exploded from its center. 1/3 of the rebel fleet went dark in seconds. Ships spun out of control. Some vanished. It didn't shoot to kill. It just turned everything off back on the Eclipse. Rhea made her choice. Plan Omega. All teams move. Briggs gasped. That's a suicide run, maybe Rhea said. But it's our only chance. Plan Omega was Earth's last resort. They would fly the Eclipse straight into the core of the black ship and deliver a special weapon, a quantum imploder. It's designed to destroy anything that feeds on energy. It was never tested. It might fail, but it was all they had. Torres and Malik loaded the weapon into the drop core. Rhea looked at her crew one last time. I didn't expect to survive this war, she said. But I did expect to make them remember Earth. Everyone nodded. Then Rhea gave the final order. Take us in. The Eclipse flew full speed at the black ship. Every other human ship fired cover shots, distracting the monster as long as they could, as Eclipse closed the gap. The black ship began to react. Tit's outer skin opened, showing a core that glowed. With dead light, Kraos called out, Core opening. Now or never. The Eclipse's drop core launched. It flew straight into the enemy's heart. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, boom. A white light exploded from inside. Not loud, not hot, just total silence, like the universe held its breath. Then came the shock. The black ship cracked. Its skin folded in. Its energy turned against itself. And in seconds, Project Silence was gone. The Eclipse floated in space. Systems offline, fires in the engine room. But the crew was alive. Slowly, power returned. Kraos came back online. Threat eliminated. Eclipse status, damaged, but stable. Cheers filled the ship. On Earth and across human colonies. People watched the live feed. The message spread fast. Earth fought back. And won. Rhea stood on the bridge, breathing slowly. It's over, Briggs said. No, Rhea whispered. It's just begun, because in the ruins of silence, deep in the wreckage, a dark box floated. Still alive, still pulsing, and still watching. The war was over. The black ship's silence had been destroyed. The cost was high. The Eclipse floated in orbit. Half damaged, its hull marked with fire and scars. Most systems were offline. The ship's core needed repairs. But it had survived, so had Earth. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was quiet. No threats. No orders from alien empires. Just silence and freedom. Captain Rhea stood alone in the observation deck, staring out at the stars. She was tired. Her uniform was torn. Her hands still shook from the last battle, but her eyes were sharp. Behind her, Kraos spoke softly. Final damage report. 48% systems damaged. 7 crew lost. All enemy forces neutralized. Any signs of Thalzer survivors? Rhea asked. None. Enemy communications silent. Empire appears to be collapsing. Rhea let out a breath she had held for hours. It was finally done. Earth was no longer the weak planet others mocked. In the days that followed, help came from all directions. The lost colonies sent engineers and parts. Old rebel ships formed a defense fleet around Eclipse. Earth's secret moon bases opened their channels. To the rest of the galaxy, even former alien allies, once afraid to help, now sent messages of respect. One message stood out. It came from the old Galactic Council, which once laughed at Earth. Now their voice was different. To the people of Earth, you stood alone. You fought alone. And you won. We offer peace, a seat at the high table. The galaxy has changed. Earth helped shape it. Briggs read the message out loud on the bridge. The crew listened quietly. Torres raised an eyebrow. They finally noticed us. Malik smirked. Took them long enough. Rhea simply said, let them come. But we build our own future now. But something else needed to be done first. In the remains of the black ship's silence, Earth scientists found a strange box. It had survived the explosion, pulsed with low energy, still alive. Dr. Voss, the rescued scientist from Part 5, studied it carefully. It's not just a power source, he said. It's a map. Rhea leaned forward. A map to what? Voss smiled faintly. Another gate, but not one made by the Thalzer. This one is older, much older. He placed a projection on the table. It showed a star system far beyond known space, completely untouched. No colonies, no records, no war, just silence. We call it the New Gate, Voss said. It opens once every 100 years, and now it's opening again. Torres whispered, what's on the other side? No one knows, Voss said. But the energy signature, it's clean, safe, different. Alik looked at Rhea. Are we going? Rhea nodded slowly. We didn't just survive this war. We outgrew it. Weeks passed. The Eclipse was repaired with help from Earth and the colonies. Its armor was stronger, its engines faster. New weapons were installed, but only for defense. The mission was not war. It was discovery. The new gate was waiting, and Earth would be first to cross it before the journey. Earth sent one final message to the galaxy. We are not looking for control. We are not looking for revenge. We're explorers again. We are builders again. And this time, lead ourselves. In a global broadcast watched by billions, Captain Rhea stepped into the camera view. She wore no medals. It's only her plain dark uniform. She spoke simply. This is not the end of Earth's story. It is the beginning. The Eclipse left orbit with a small fleet of new allies. Drones, scouts, colony ships. Even civilian scientists and families. It was not just a warship. Now it was a flag, a symbol of Earth's rise. They reached the location of the new gate. It didn't look like the others. No towers, no glowing rings. Just space that shimmered, like water ready to ripple. Crows confirmed, energy stable, path clear. Gate opening in 30 seconds. Briggs smiled. It's beautiful. Torres held her breath. Malik whispered, this time we go forward. Not into battle, but into the unknown. The gate opened slowly, like a curtain being pulled back. Beyond it, light, peaceful stars, a galaxy untouched. Rhea sat in her chair, its eyes steady. Engage engines, she said. Take us through the Eclipse. Entered the gate and vanished into the light. Epilogue 10 years later, in a bright green valley on a new world. Children with Earth flags on their sleeves played in fields of blue grass above them. A city grew clean, strong, full of humans and alien friends alike, and in the sky. The Eclipse watched over them, still ready, still silent, still home.